Yes, y'all. From the new Dave Campbell's Texas Football Mothership here in beautiful Lewisville, Texas, it is Texas Football Today, a show on the internet. My name's Greg Tepper. I'm the editor-in-chief of Dave Campbell's Texas Football Magazine and TexasFootball.com. Thank you for spending part of your day with us. Whether you're watching us live at TexasFootball.com, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, all those places, or you're listening to us on the podcast, which you can subscribe to on the podcast vendor of your choice. Either way, thank you for doing your part to support your local mediocre internet show. I am sitting over there at the helm today, making us sound good. She is the Duchess of the Dorks. I'm going to vamp a little bit because she's messing with a wire right now.
My camera went out. I don't know what. Oh, I know what happened. Well, y'all are just going to have to hear my voice for a second until I can get V&A back in here.
Miss 305. She's Ashley Pickle. She will be on camera at some point today. That is a promise that I actually cannot promise. Hi, Ashley Pickle.
Hello.
Today is Monday, May 12th, 2025. It is a mere tiny, itty-bitty 199 days to Thanksgiving. That's right, folks. Under 200 days. How about that? Under 200 days till Thanksgiving. Happy birthday to, I don't know, do you have any friends? Oh, you know whose birthday is today? Today's the birthday of Tony Hawk.
Oh, let's go.
Happy birthday to Tony Hawk. Objectively awesome. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. The biggest Tony Hawk story that I have.
All right, and here with a Tony Hawk story.
They used to have...
From off-camera.
Yes, the off-camera Tony Hawk story. They used to have at Six Flags Fiesta, Texas, one of the roller coasters was the Tony Hawk ride.
Yeah. And
the cart spun. So you had four people looking at each other. So 2 and 2, you're facing each other, and that cart just spins. So it kind of feels like you're on a half pipe and stuff like that. Not that I know what being on a half pipe feels like, but I do know that I really enjoyed that ride.
So what you're saying is that, like, you may not know what a half pipe, being on a half pipe feels like, but you know what being on a half pipe simulator looks like.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. I get that. It is episode 1860. On today's show, folks, we have got headlines from across the state of Texas, big time headlines, including, for it being May and like now getting close to like mid-May. It's May 12th. It being close to mid-May, there being a substantial number of actually surprising and big-time coaching changes across Texas high school football. We'll talk about that, plus a six-man football team that is doing something relatively wacky and wild in the 2025 season. We'll talk about that. And then back half of the show, we were in Waco this weekend at the Texas High School Football Hall of Fame induction ceremony presented by Texas Farm Bureau Insurance. We had live coverage on TexanLive.com. Streamed the banquet. We had a great time. We will be talking through exactly what went down there with all of the celebs there in Waco. We will break that down coming up here at the back half of the show if you stick around with us. So we appreciate you spending a little bit of your day with us here on the show. I'm vamping as best I can. I want to invite you to go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe before I throw anything to Ashley Pickle because she's putting out
I'm here. I'm just not visible.
Do we have first four through the door? You want to try
that? We sure do. BJWB, jersey number 69, nice. Ed McElroy, and that's all we have so far. Okay. Welcome so in, you can, at any point in time, you can still be first four through the door.
Welcome in, friends. We do appreciate you spending a little bit of your day with us. All righty, folks. Let's get to some headlines from across the state of Texas. And there are actually some relatively big ones across the state. We will start in Blanco and a pretty seismic coaching move that has come down last week. And that is that Blanco, they've been looking for a head coach. Let me walk you through this, okay? So Edna made a coaching change. Okay.
Which was kind of surprising.
I would say really surprising with Jimmy Mitchell, who's been to 3 straight state semifinals, being non-renewed. So he moves on. Jamie Dixon from Blanco is hired, which means that Blanco is then looking for a new head coach. Well, they have found a new head coach, and they are expected to announce, I believe it was pending board approval on Friday, that Kent Walker will be the next head coach of the Blanco Panthers. Kent Walker Most notably, Liberty Hill head coach. Liberty Hill is absolute. This is a big time get here for Blanco. This is a guy who has been 49-14 in his 4 full seasons at the helm of the Liberty Hill Panthers. Went 4-1 in 2020 as an in the interim after the death of his brother Jeff Walker in Week 9 of that 2020 season. This is a pretty shocking move here as he's going to move from Liberty Hill to Blanco. Now, I do not, of course, he took them to a state championship game back in 2021 where they fell to South Oak Cliff. But in 2022 and 2023, went to the state semifinals. This is a guy who's made three state semifinals if you count the interim year in 2020. Rather remarkable. We'll see what happens to the offense. Obviously, people know Liberty Hill as running the slot T. Mm-hmm. We will see what ends up happening as far as the offense is concerned.
But realistically, Kent Walker took that over from his brother.
Correct.
So it's he never really had a choice of what offense. I guess he did, but
he could have at some point. But I think that things were humming along so well that it would have been a surprise. I do want to. Okay, I have not talked with Kent Walker. I want to be very clear. I have not talked with Kent Walker. However, allow me to wildly speculate. One of the things that's coming down the pike is that there is another high school coming to Liberty Hill. Liberty Hill Legacy Ranch it began classes this past fall, and they are going to be in the varsity. They're expected to play a varsity kind of outlaw schedule this year and then be aligned into a UIL district in 2026. So things are changing in Liberty Hill. Mm-hmm. And again, I have not talked with Kent Walker, but there are guys who like being one school town guys.
Oh, yeah.
And Liberty Hill is about to not be a one school town.
And that's a seismic thing for a program like that specifically. If you go to the Frisco area and you say, oh, okay, they're opening up another high school. It's it's already oversaturated. Sure. There's 13 of them already. What's the difference? That for a one-horse town is a big, big deal.
Absolutely. So Liberty Hill now looking for a new head coach here as Liberty Hill's Kent Walker has taken over there at Blanco. Elsewhere, another pretty big move in the Central Texas area, although it has to do with DFW as well. Mesquite Horn has made a hire. You may remember that Mesquite Horn has been looking for a new head coach ever since Courtney Allen stepped down after 3 seasons. They have gone and made a pretty splashy hire themselves. They have hired Pflugerville Weiss head coach Vernon Hughes. Vernon Hughes leaving Pflugerville Weiss to take over at Mesquite Horn. This is a guy who played at A&M Kingsville and Texas Lutheran, and then has kind of bounced around the coaching world before becoming a head coach there at Pflugerville Weiss, where he did really good things. He's 17-5 in 2 seasons there at Pflugerville Weiss, kind of a fledgling program there in Pflugerville. This is all very interesting. I would also say this about Mesquite. We've said this a couple of times. Mesquite ISD has made a couple of big swings on coaching hires. They've gone through and gotten some big-time hires to come in, and this is the latest in them. They don't hit singles. They swing for the fences, and they've certainly done it again here with Vernon Hughes from Pflugerville Weiss taking over at Mesquite Horn. Fascinating to see how that works. I think Mesquite Horn, this is me. I think this is a build there at Mesquite Horn. They are, I think that when you take a look at Mesquite ISD right now, they do not have the power nexus. I am interested to see how things operate moving forward for Mesquite Horn. But Vernon Hughes is a guy who understands the landscape extremely well. Fascinating to see how this works. But Pflugerville Weiss looking for a head coach as their head coach, Vernon Hughes, has taken over there at Mesquite Horn. Elsewhere, this came down late Friday night, kind of a Friday night news dump. And that is that Lubbock Monterey is looking for a head coach. Judd Thrash is out after 3 seasons. Lubbock ISD posted the job, which is how we know that the job is open. That's how that works. If you ever see a listing for editor-in-chief of Dave Campbell's Texas Football, that means that I'm out. Thrash oversaw a pretty substantial kind of rebuild of this program. Took a team that was 0-10 and got them to a 7-5 mark in 2024, including winning a playoff game and actually giving Denton Ryan everything they wanted in that area round of the playoffs. I would be remiss if I did not mention he was placed on administrative leave by Lubbock ISD following an arrest and a vehicle crash in early April. Jason Sims is going to be taking over as he's led the program at least during spring workouts. My guess is that he will be at or near the top of the list to take over there at Lubbock Monterey. And so that is the latest there. Lubbock Monterey is looking for a head coach. Again, speculating here, haven't talked with anybody around Lubbock Monterey. Jason Sims feels like he has the inside track to take over that job. Remember, he is a guy who was the coach at Childress for a good spell. Before that, he was a coach at Quaney. He has head coaching experience. My expectation is that Jason Sims will be at or near the top of that list. So, Lubbock Monterey looking for a new head coach.
Breaking news. You can see me now.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow.
Hi, we did it.
Hi.
We fixed the camera. Elsewhere across the state, it was 7-on-7 this week. 7-on-7 tournaments going on across the state, and we've got some new teams that have punched their ticket to the state 7-on-7 tournament. That includes Hutto and Tyler out of the Arlington SQT. They punched their ticket to College Station. At the Anna SQT, it was Princeton and Argyle Liberty Christian. I believe our own Carter Yates was out at the Anna SQT.
Yes.
And he said that Argyle Liberty Christian looked really good, especially Cooper Witten.
Yeah, he said Cooper Witten's an animal.
He looked really, really good. In Division II, at the Kilgore State Qualifying Tournament, Kilgore won their own tournament, beating Lindale. But I heard from Matt Stepp. Matt Stepp was out at this one. He had really good things to report, obviously, about Kilgore. They win the state qualifying tournament and punch their ticket to College Station. But also, Lindale looked good and Pleasant Grove looked good. Those are two teams that got positive reviews from those on site. At the Hardin-Jefferson SQT, it was Hardin-Jefferson themselves who punched their ticket to the state qualifying tournament. So there it is. Of course, we are the home of the state 7-on-7 at TexasFootball.com. Make sure you go and check out all the stuff we got cooking, and we will have you covered every step of the way on the road to College Station in the state 7-on-7 tournament. And finally, Pickle, I would like to invite you to go to TexasFootball.com. Always.
Yeah, just naturally.
But especially now, and look especially hard right now at TexasFootball.com for a story written by Matt Stepp about the Gordon Longhorns. Gordon Longhorns, you may know, as the two-time defending 1A Division I state champions. Six-man football, and they're excellent. They're really, really good.
That's how you know something's up, because Stepp wrote a six-man article.
Ball knowers understand that that's rare. And that is that Gordon and Coach Mike Reed has scheduled 2 games against 11-man opponents. They're going to throw 5 more teams on the field. And by the way, their 2 11-man opponents are not lunch meat. They're going to, in week 4, they're going to go on the road and play Thorndale. Thorndale is a 2A Division I team that won a playoff game last year. That's a good Thorndale team. And then in week 9, they're going to travel to Kerrville and play a neutral site game against Bracketville, a 2A Division II team that went 7-4. These are good teams, good 11-man teams, and they're going to take them on. And in talking with Mike Reed, I actually saw him at the Texas High School Hall of Fame induction ceremony this weekend. And he said, look, we need a challenge. We want to be battle tested. We want to go out there and challenge them, challenge ourselves.
Are they going to play 12 or 11-man ball?
They're going to play 11-man ball. They're going to put 5 more guys on the field, and they're going to play 11-man ball. He told Matt Stepp in the story, and remember, he did play a. They have done this before. Mike Reed has done this before. He was the head coach at Throckmorton. They did a hybrid 6-man, 11-man game back in 2012. Quote, if you're a good 11-man team, you can play up a level and it won't really impact you as far as the playoffs. They have the flexibility to challenge themselves outside of the conference and it makes them better. We don't have that luxury in 1A for the most part, so we had to be creative. The challenge for us is we have to play a totally different game. End quote. Mike Reed was the head coach at Hamilton for 4 seasons as well. But this is fascinating, and he's right. When we get to non-district season, the first few weeks of the season, we're going to be marveling at South Oak Cliff playing DeSoto or South Oak Cliff playing Galena Park North Shore, right? Yeah. And that is a 5A Division II team playing a 6A team. We go, wow, they're punching up. for a team like Gordon, there's nowhere to punch up because to punch up would be at 2A, and they play a different brand of football, plain and simple. And so I think this is fascinating that Gordon is going to play 2 11-man games this season. And look, in the end, iron sharpens iron. This is a team that only played 1 fourth quarter all year, okay, against Abbott in the state semifinals. They finished their state championship game 15 seconds into the third quarter. That was only the third quarter they played all year.
So why not?
So why not challenge yourself? We know they're going to be good. Stryker Reed, Rye Reed, Braden Walters, they are loaded for Bear, and it'll be a real challenge, I think. So I'm fascinated to see how this works. That's coming up. Gordon is going to play 2 11-man games coming up this year. You can read all about it on TexasFootball.com.
I also wonder if that will help Powers just rated 2 of their players as 3 stars for the first time ever. So I also wonder if this will help. Maybe they can actually get recruited more, you know? Like that's another play into it.
That's one thing I think is fascinating to see. Is can guys like Rye Reed, Stryker Reed, Braden Walter, will playing the 11-man game give all of these recruiters who may be a little bit hesitant to recruit a 6-man football player, maybe it gives them what they need to see.
Like, obviously it works with Grayson Rigdon, but he went to play 11-man fully.
Right, exactly right. Fascinating to see. You can go to TexasFootball.com and read more about that. Gordon going to play 2 11-man games this year. That is the headlines from across the state. We are at Texas Football Today. We're here Mondays and Thursdays on TexasFootball.com, talking football in the Lone Star State. You can follow us on Twitter at DCTF, like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, Instagram.com/Dave Campbell's, and of course, see us at TexasFootball.com. Hey, you. Did you screw up Mother's Day? I know you didn't.
I did not.
Neither did I.
Good.
But if you did, TexasFootball.com/subscribe. Make it right.
It's the only way to make it right.
Feels like, honestly, the only way to make it right at this point. You're late, but let's fix this. Get our subscription to Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Become a Dave Campbell's Texas Football subscriber. Get the 2025 summer edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football mailed to your mom. It'll show up in her mailbox,
which is even better of a surprise.
Absolutely. And you can also say, "Hey, Mom, great news. You can watch playoff softball and baseball right now on TexanLive.com as part of your Dave Campbell's Texas Football subscription."
You sure can.
And I love you for, being my mom. Let's fix this. TexasFootball.com/subscribe. It'll save your family. Coming up here in just a moment.
Promise.
Coming up here in just a moment, we are going to recap our weekend in Waco, where we were hanging out with celebrities from all across the football world. But first, a word from these valued partners.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Potter, Executive Director of Be Well Texas. Too many people are struggling alone these days, and alcohol and drug deaths are increasing. We started Be Well Texas to offer high-quality, science-based addiction treatment and recovery services anywhere, even at home. We provide compassionate, caring support virtually or in person. In many cases, there is no cost for treatment if you don't have insurance. Really. Welcome to Be Well Texas. We're glad you're here.
Hey DFW residents, get your grocery essentials in minutes, not hours or days, with Wing Drone Delivery. Forget about last-minute trips to the store when you need things like cereal for breakfast before school, medicine for a cold, or snacks for a movie night. Wings drones get you quick, no-contact delivery in as fast as 15 minutes. Say goodbye to last-minute grocery runs and say hello to more of your valuable time. Sign up today.
Joined out here by Hayden Gunner at Denton High School. Man, it's a big day for you. You got your decision coming right now.
After a lot of thinking, with the family talking, stressing out.
Let's see exactly where Malik Hawkins is going to be heading.
First off, I want to start by thanking God. Without him, I wouldn't be anything. I wouldn't be blessed with all these opportunities.
Got 5 schools he's choosing between. We're about to find out who it's going to be. Got your teammates, coaches, family, friends surrounding you, so you couldn't have a bigger stage right here to announce it on. So without further ado, we're going to go to the man right here, Kobe Foreman. Who's it going to be?
I will be attending.
I'll be committed to the University of Oklahoma.
University of Texas A&M.
Stand for university.
The University of Oklahoma.
Every legend starts with a vision. For Dave Campbell, that vision was clear. Tell the story of Texas football like never before. In 1960, he built something no one had before, a magazine that became the Bible of Texas football. Coaches, players, and fans didn't just read it, they lived by it. His words shaped the game. His vision built a legacy. And his name? It will always be written in the story of Texas football. Dave Campbell's Texas Football, where legends begin.
Back here on Texas Football Today,
Every legend
I'm Greg,
starts with
that's
a vision.
Ashley.
For Dave Campbell, that vision was clear.
Why not?
Tell the story
let's
of
talk
Texas
about legends.
football like never
Talk
before.
about how legends begin. Let's talk about legends immortalized, because we were down this weekend at the 2025 Texas High School Football Hall of Fame induction ceremony presented by Texas Farm Bureau Insurance. We had the live stream on Texan Live. It was a star-studded night. And it was, by the way, first and foremost, it was not at the Texas High School or Texas Sports Hall of Fame, which is where it normally is. Instead, it was, if you're familiar with Baylor, it was across the street at the new Hurd Welcome Center. And let me tell you something, folks.
Gorgeous.
I texted my brother this. He's married to a Baylor grad. And I said, dude, when did Baylor find their pocketbook?
Yeah.
Because, goodness gracious, this is a spectacular building.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And they moved it there because they were expecting a much bigger crowd than they normally did. And it's because Ashley Pickle was there.
That is inaccurate. I've been there for the past 4 years, and no one has cared.
Okay. So it's not that. Instead, it probably had to do with the class, the 2025 class of the Texas High School Football Hall of Fame, which included some outstanding players. Gary Keithley from Alvin went into the Texas High School Football Hall of Fame this year, as did let's see, Pat Thomas from Plano, the legend from Plano, went in the Texas High School Football Hall of Fame. Brad Gable, the pride of Cuero and the pride of Baylor, went in. John Norman, the hard-hitting defender from Midland Lee, went in for the 90s. As did, from the coach's perspective, Curtis Barbe posthumously went in. Our friend David Smoke got the Dave Campbell Contributor of the Game Award. And then there were probably three guys that I would say, from the relatively casual perspective, are the headliners. One of them, going in the Texas High School Hall of Fame, is Jeff Traylor, our friend Jeff Traylor. We had him on the pregame show, chatted with him. He had maybe the speech of the night. He was rolling. He was rolling up there. Had a ton of people there to support him from Gilmer. But Jeff Traylor goes in. Representing the 2000s, it was Robert Griffin III out of Cobras Cove, there with his family and friends.
Baylor guy.
A Baylor guy, so a lot of folks from the Waco area there to support him. I believe Chip and Joanna Gaines were there to support him.
They were, yeah.
Which is cool. And then, representing the 2010s, Patrick Mahomes II. You know, the 3-time Super Bowl MVP and 2-time NFL MVP. He was on hand. I will say this. I think it is pretty cool and I think it says a lot about what Texas high school football means that you would have guys like Robert Griffin III and Patrick Mahomes and Jeff Traylor drop everything and make it to Waco and say, yep, this is important to me. And I think that's pretty cool.
That in and of itself was just really cool to see. Even further than that, I spoke with a couple of the board members for the Hall of Fame after the event, and they had specifically said about Patrick Mahomes that he went above and beyond when he got there. He signed everything that they asked him to. He met with kids that ran up to him, like just went above and beyond. And it's like, man, that's just cool.
That's great to hear. Like that's very cool to hear. And obviously we've known Patrick Mahomes for a little bit. He was on the cover of our 2016 magazine. But it's very cool that, being part owner of the Kansas City Royals hasn't changed what is a small town guy. And I thought both of their speeches, both Robert Griffin III and Patrick Mahomes' speeches, were really cool and kind of, I think in speeches like that, you can really go on about like all the things that happened after high school, but they all tied it all back to what they did at Copper's Cove, what they did at White House. Patrick Mahomes, I think, said is like, I'm always a White House Wildcat.
He said in his speech that he gets the copy of Dave Campbell's, and he specifically looks for White House every single year.
Every year he wants to find out. It was very cool. Of course, another thing they did is that they honored all the 2024 UIL Texas high school football state champions. And so I believe of the state champion head coaches, I want to say 9 of the 12 or 10 of the 12
10 of the 12 were there.
10 of the 12 were there. So it's great to chop them up. Got to see Scott Surratt and his lovely wife Summer. Got to see our friend Drew Sanders from Vandegrift. Some of these guys, like for Scott Surratt, this is the 10th time he's been invited here. But for like Larry Hill, it's like, oh, cool! Like I finally get to be here,
and they get watches. Right?
They got a cool watch there, and they got their moment to be honored as well. And yeah, so they had Josh Stanlin from Jayton and Mike Reed from Gordon were there as well.
And Matt Schobel actually was there for 2 different purposes. 1, to get his state championship watch as the Columbus head coach, but then 2, Columbus was actually honored with the Gordon Wood Team of the Year honoree. So that's really cool
for overcoming adversity and stuff, and showing their true mettle, and certainly they were deserving of that considering the tragedy that they went through early in the season. It was a remarkable evening, and before the ceremony, the third member of our broadcast team, Mallory Hartley, had an opportunity to catch up with Patrick Mahomes himself. And so here's Mallory Hartley's conversation with Patrick Mahomes II, the Kansas City Chiefs quarterback.
Mallory Hartley, Dave Campbell's Texas Football, standing here alongside former White House quarterback Patrick Mahomes. Now, I asked Robert Griffin III the same thing. When's the last time that you were introduced as former White House quarterback?
No, it had to be a while, like maybe my first year of college. It's been a while, but it's always great to hear because that's where it all started and why I'm here today.
Tell me your initial reaction when you first got the call saying that, hey, you were going to be a part of the 2025 class Texas High School Football Hall of Fame.
No, I was extremely honored. Texas high school football means so much to me. I talk about it and brag about it in the locker room every single day. And so to get this honor, this prestigious honor, it means a ton to me because it shows that all the hard work that I put in high school, junior high, whatever it is, it paid off.
Well, let's throw it back to your White House days, right? You threw for nearly 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns in your senior year. You won the Max Preps Player of the Year. Talk to me a little bit about what this means to you to be able to represent the White House community in such a big way out in Beast, Texas.
Yeah, Beast, Texas, exactly. It was a special time. I talked about it a little bit earlier, but all those guys that I played with are all my teammates, and they're all my best friends these days too. And so to grow up with those guys, bring a district championship back to White House, those are memories I'll have for the rest of my life, and I'm glad that we can talk about them now because we did finally get that district championship my senior year.
I love it. I remember that. So Texas high school football, obviously king, you know that. How do you think your time playing at the Texas high school football level has developed you into the player and the athlete that you've become today?
Yeah, I think it showed you what hard work was. When you play Texas high school football, it starts in 6th, 7th grade. Where you're going to these camps and you're preparing to be that starting quarterback your senior year, junior year of high school, and it doesn't come easy. And so whenever you get to college, it's the same way. And I was prepared for that. I was prepared for the work ethic and the accountability that you have to have, and that's kind of just jumpstart my entire career.
Well, and we're standing here in the Dave Campbell's Memorial Hall, right? He's right there behind us. And you were actually on the cover of the Dave Campbell's Texas Football Summer Edition in 2016. Roll that up right there.
Love it.
I love it. Talk to me a little bit about the impact that Mr. Dave Campbell has made in the Texas high school football community.
Yeah, he made Texas high school football even bigger than what it was. And everybody knew about the communities. There was movies about it, but no one could really put it all together. And Dave Campbell did that with his magazines, and I was honored to be on the cover of this with Coach Kingsbury. And I still, to this day, I have a guy that runs our media in Kansas City, and he brings me the magazine every single year and hands it to me and tells me all about the White House Wildcats and what we're going to do this year. And so it is truly an honor to be on the cover of this magazine and to be here, standing here today.
We'll make sure to send you an advance copy of it this year.
I appreciate it.
Well, and finally, your whole family's here, right? What does it mean to you to be inducted alongside your entire family, especially your wife, Brittany, who's over here, who was at White House with you and has been through this journey with you?
Yeah, it was really cool when you see the kind of display, and it's a picture of me and Brittany in high school. She's cheerleading, I'm playing quarterback, and that was the dream when I was then, and we're living out the dream now. So to have my entire family here, mom, dad, and everybody that supported me the whole way, it's special because this is what I wanted. This is where I wanted to be at, and we're living out that dream in real time.
Well, thanks so much for the time, and congratulations on such a big honor. Go enjoy it.
Yeah, thank you.
There he is, Patrick Mahomes, 3-time Super Bowl MVP. I will say that is, what episode number is this?
1859.
This is the first time in 1,859 episodes we've had a 3-time Super Bowl MVP on the show.
Seems warranted.
Unless, well, yeah, at the time. Patrick Mahomes was on the show back in 2016, but that's...
Just because this is a mediocre internet show does not mean that we need to have mediocre guests.
That's your point.
We can just be mediocre.
Yeah, but it was a great time down there at the Texas High School Football Hall of Fame. You can relive it on TexanLive.com and on our YouTube channel, so make sure you go check that out. But it was a great night, and really appreciate the Texas High School Football Hall of Fame for rolling out the red carpet for us, ding-dongs, the least important people there. But had a great time bringing it to you on TexanLive.com. Let's go over to Ashley Pickle for America's second favorite segment. Final thoughts.
I think more than anything, jersey number 69 and I both took the same thing out of today's episode, and that is, he said, all that money I spent on family counseling and all I had to do was get a Dave Campbell subscription.
I'm telling you. Look.
They're saying, people.
Am I a doctor? No. That's going to do it for us. Thanks for spending a little bit of your day with us. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbells. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/Dave Campbells. And, of course, see us at TexasFootball.com. Thanks again to Patrick Mahomes for being our guest. For Ashley Pickle.
Sure.
I'm Greg Tepper. Vince Young, please can be player of the year trophy. Do you think he'll, write back, be like, you're welcome?
Yeah, actually, he
Get
was
in the comments, Pat.
he was like, why wasn't I first 4 through the door?
Yeah, it sucks. Missed opportunity. We'll see you Thursday on Texas Football Today.